In this video, we are going to compare the rank and rent digital real estate business model to the SMMA business model, which is the social media management, where you take companies' social profiles and you manage them for them, versus the rank and rent business model, where you build simple websites, you rank them on Google, you own the assets, and you simply rent them to business owners. You're renting the phone calls, you're renting the leads to these business owners. We're going to compare these two models. Now, if you're on this channel, obviously, you know that I am a big proponent of the rank and rent business model, because that is where I have found tremendous success after testing out all of the business models that you could possibly imagine. But I want to break it down on this video. So what I'm going to do here, I want you guys to form your own opinions. I want you to listen to what I'm saying and not just take my word for it, not just believe me, but I want you to critically think about it. I want you to actually internalize and go, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense. And I would encourage you, if anything that I say does not make sense or you don't agree with it, please drop it in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion on why you disagree or agree with me. So first and foremost, the biggest difference between these two models is the rank and rent business model is asset-based and the SMMA business model is not. It is you're trading your time for dollars. And so one of the things that people don't understand is when you get into business, when you start your own company, that does not necessarily mean that you're in that much better of a spot than when you work for somebody else. You can be in a business that you are still a slave to. You can be in a business that you still have to answer to not just one person, not just one boss, but now 20 bosses. And you are at their beck and call. And if you don't answer the phone, you are going to risk them canceling, and you are going to risk bad reviews, and on and on and on, because it is not asset-based. Social media marketing, although a viable model, although a model where you could start today and you could start collecting money, I'm not saying that it's not a model that doesn't work. It works, but we're talking about the differences. And the SMMA model is a time for dollars play. You are literally providing your service, but you have no assets. The business owner or the person that you are doing it for has all the control. They call you and they tell you how high to jump. They tell you what they need done. They tell you if they're going to cancel. They tell you if your price is too high. When you own assets, when you own a website that's pumping out phone calls, and you only work with one company exclusively, when the business owner, Paul, calls you to complain, you can simply say, Paul, if this isn't working for you, I'll just send these to Tim, dude. Life's too short. You have the control. The business owner needs you more than you need them, because there's one of you. There's one website that's ranking, one website that's churning out leads. There's one person, you, that's providing exclusive leads. Plenty of business owners, they're lined up for days. They need you more than you need them. So this asset piece, this is the biggest difference between rank and rent in all the business models, but especially between SMMA and rank and rent. Now, what's funny is some of the biggest names on the internet talking about SMMA, they'll openly admit this. They'll say building an agency is very, very difficult. It's very stressful. It's very time consuming, especially to scale. And this is something I went through when I was trying to do an SEO agency, which is essentially the same thing as SMMA, just a different service, but you are still providing a service. And I'm telling you guys, it is not a good way to build a life. It is not a good way to build a business. The best part about it is it does allow you to have that location freedom, but you do not have assets. Okay? Second piece of this is the passivity of it. Nothing is truly 100% passive. And don't let anybody lie to you. And I think all of us hopefully are educated enough to realize that nothing is truly passive, even physical real estate. There's always going to be the broken toilet. There's always going to be the tenant that won't pay. There's always going to be this or that, or the water leak and the whole thing, right? It's always going to happen. Even if you've done a great service, situations change. Nothing is 100% passive. However, there are levels to passivity. And when we're looking at the spectrum, let's say this side is very, very passive, 100% passive, and this side is not passive. I would put SMMA somewhere around like a 4 or 5, and I would put rank and rent at an 8.5, 9. Now, what makes SMMA not passive? Well, if the business owner calls you and needs an update, you're doing the update. If the business owner calls you and they're having financial troubles and they have to cancel, you're canceling. I don't care what kind of contract you have. They're going to cancel. Like it just is. They don't need you because they're not renting anything from you. They are literally just buying your time. And when they don't need the time anymore, they're done. Period. You are trading your time for dollars. It is a broken way to riches. I've heard this by Mr. Naval Ravikant. He talks about one of the laws of getting rich is you must own assets. You must own something that pays you again and again and again. And when you are doing the rank and rent business model, on the other hand, you are building assets. You are literally building assets that will produce leads while you're sleeping, while you're eating, while while you're golfing, while you're traveling, while you're doing whatever. They are out there working 24/7, 365. They have no emotions. They don't ask for raises. These assets are producing leads for you on the internet, and that's what makes this so passive. Now, are you going to have client turnover? Yes. You promise them, you don't promise them anything, but you tell them 10, or you have their expectations around 10, 15 leads per month. You over deliver and give them 30, and they can't close shit, and they're going to complain and say it's your fault. Yes, it happens. This is business. But as far as on the scale of passivity, rank and rent is very, very, very passive compared to all the other business models out there. And SMMA has some elements of passivity, but it is very hands-on. You are making sure clients are happy. You are keeping them warm. You are doing those soft touches. You are sending the birthday cards. You are doing that. Guys, I have rank and rent clients. I have a specific one I'm thinking of right now. I have not talked to this client at the time of recording. It has almost been 2 years. Almost been 2 years. Now I'm not getting rich on this one website. I'm making $500 a month, but it's about a 90% profit margin. I've talked about this before. It's my towing website. And I just don't talk to the guy. I'm producing leads. He's paying me. He's happy because he's making money. I'm happy because I'm making money. We're not messing with it. And it just keeps banging the freaking card. The last piece of this is scalability. Now, this is what's interesting. SMMA, SEO, some of these services where you can trade your time for dollars, you're going to find that getting from 0 to 5K, getting from 0 to 10K actually isn't super difficult. Sometimes it happens quick because you can go out, okay, let me get this guy, 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 boom. But scaling and maintaining that $5,000, that $10,000, that is the key. And in my experience, so guys, when I started building out my agency, I offered SEO. And then pretty soon I realized, hey, these same clients, they're also paying somebody to do their Facebook, and they're paying somebody to do their Instagram. And so guess what? I started offering that service. I started offering my own SMMA service within my business. And I'm here to tell you that although it feels good, although it feels sexy, although it feels whatever, because you're getting, I just got $500 more. It feels great in the moment. It's not lasting. There's no longevity to it. It's not scalable. The thing that I hated the very most about this is I never knew what next month was going to hold. I never knew what the winter was going to hold. I never knew when there was going to be bad news on the stock market and people were going to freak out and I was going to get a call. I remember getting a call. I was at SeaWorld and I got a call from a client and I saw the name, and I remember just every time I would get a call from a client, my heart would just drop because I'm like, this is going to be a cancel. It's going to be a cancel. I can't afford to have this canceled. It's like things are too tight. Sure enough, hey man, this ain't working out. Got right to the point. This ain't working out. I'm out. And I'm like, well, we got a contract. I don't give a shit. Like, we're out. I'll fight it all day long. I ain't paying you type of thing. I'm like, whoa, okay. And the whole trip was ruined. The whole weekend was ruined. And this wasn't a one-time thing. Anytime I would travel somewhere where I didn't have cell phone service, I remember coming to Africa on trip. I remember the whole time back, all I could think about is as soon as I connect to Wi-Fi, all I could think about is, am I going to have a email that says I want to cancel? Am I going to have a text message that says I want to cancel? And I'm out. And that's all I could think about. Scaling service-based businesses where you're trading your time for dollars. It is possible, but it is very, very difficult. It is very, very manpower intensive. It is very, very intricate. Scaling rank and rent is as simple as getting a deal. Let's say it's $1,500 a month, getting the site ranked, lowering your ads if you're spending ads to get those leads juiced up, getting the client on autopilot, getting them into that second contract, which I've talked at length on other videos, and doing it again, and then doing it again. And guys, what I've noticed is that the attrition rate on rank and rent properties on these assets is so low compared to service-based business. And the maintenance is so low because it's a very simple transaction. I give you leads, you pay me money. If I stop giving you leads, you're going to stop paying me money. If you stop paying me money, I'm going to stop giving you leads. It's very, very simple. There's not a lot to talk about. You start joking around, I'm going to go to your competitor because I only work with one company and I have what you need. The difference is when you are offering SMMA, you are a commodity. You're like every other 20, 22-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever kid that's out there trying to hawk a buck, that's out there watching Ty Lopez, that's out there, whatever, trying to start an agency and trying to look rich. And when you own assets, you have the control. And some of you guys that are watching this like, yeah, but I'd rather go chase the fast money. Good luck. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go chase it and you're going to realize it's a broken business model. It does not scale. Now, if you're looking to make $2,000, $3,000 and you're okay, the hustle and always on the phone, whatever, then either one will work. In fact, you could go do an SEO agency. But if you're looking to build a real business, something that replaces your income, something that allows you to travel the world, something that allows you to buy a Rolex for your father, something that allows you to build an empire, I think it's pretty obvious based on just these three simple things, which one is the better choice.